Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm doing this kind of intro after the fact just because I want to make sure you guys kind of get an idea of like who I am. So my name's Kenny, guys. I am making this video to show you guys mobility routines. I want to bring a lot of like training, diet, self-improvement, mindset, spiritual stuff to this channel. It's all about being the best version of yourself, and that includes improving your spiritual, mental, and physical. So I'm trying to get better. I'm showing you guys what I know. I'm also trying to document my journey. So follow along if you'd like. Leave a comment, subscribe, like, share this with a friend, and enjoy the video. Really hope you guys like learn something from it, and also just enjoy it as entertainment as well, because I'm trying to document my journey, like I said, and just trying to have fun with it. All right, guys. So welcome to this setup here. It's kind of a bit interesting. I got the cord kind of hanging out at the side there. I literally totally forgot to talk into the camera or into the mic for that portion, but basically you guys can kind of see my setup right now, guys. It's an iPhone with a plug-in mic. I don't have a a cordless mic or an individual camera here. So we're just using what we got, using the setup. This is it until we get something different. All right, so literally just I'll just talk for these portions, and then I'll just show you guys what I'm doing for this mobility routine, and then hopefully we can do some live in action talking / doing stuff once we actually have a cordless mic. So like I just said, guys, my knee kind of hurts there. We're gonna do like a mobility routine here today. I'm actually going to do the full routine. I typically split this thing up into 2 parts. That way it's not like so overwhelming that if you can't do the whole thing, you just skip the entire routine. Because the whole point is just to make like a little bit of progress. Sorry, I'm just going to fix this. A little bit of progress, a little bit goes a long way. So if you can split this up into 2 shorter sessions that you would actually get done during the week, that's a lot better than just trying to make it into one big session that you're most likely to skip every week. Then all of a sudden it's been months and you haven't done your mobility. So just something to keep in mind. And even the shorter sessions, if you can only do like half of that, just do what you can. So I would have probably just done a cutaway of the exercise that I'm going to do for this one, because I'm actually going to have to do it at the stairs. So it's basically like a split squat, but it's a mobility split squat. It literally looks super easy, but it's super hard. So the higher elevated you are, the easier it is. So obviously for me, I'm not super flexible right now. I'm not super mobile, so I'm gonna have to do it like an easier version. But over time, I'm gonna try to get this down to just doing it on the ground. So you're basically doing a split squat, trying to get your hamstrings on your front leg to get as close to your calf as possible and to push it against your calf, and then don't let that front heel come up off the ground. And then your back leg, you try not to get your knees to touch the ground, and you try to extend out forward as far as you can and keep your back straight. So keep your lower back arched, keep your chest up. Super hard. With any of these exercises, you want to take your time and work into it, because you don't want to get yourself injured. The whole point is to stay injury free. So you want to get more flexible, more mobile within different positions and be stronger within those positions. So if you're rushing this routine and getting injured, well then, it's kind of silly. So anyways, that is the first exercise. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll come back and just show you guys the rest of the routine. All right, so interestingly enough, I actually did those split squats on the second stairs. The next set I did on the first stair. And what I do is I typically start off and I'll just kind of like use it as a stretch, but then I'll start doing reps with it. And then sometimes I'll do some holds back to a stretch, just kind of mix it up like that. Honestly, guys, doing the first 2 stairs at the beginning was super tough, but that actually felt pretty easy, and kind of makes sense because my bulging disc, my lower back kind of lower, I think it's my L, so like my lumbar kind of like just above the butt on the right side, that kind of bulging disc has gotten much better with physio and stretching. And I've done this routine now like a couple of times, maybe 3 times, not a lot. So it's interesting. I think I've actually improved quite a bit. So I'm actually going to do it on this 1 step, which is actually like a half step from the first step. And the stairs kind of block you from going forward super far, so you can't fully get into the stretch. So I'm just going to try it over here. I'm going to take my time and see how this goes. I'm really impressed, honestly. That means I improved that much within such a short period of time, which goes to show honestly how stiff I was, because that was so easy, and before that was actually pretty difficult. So the fact that I can do that easily now is kind of like amazing. It just goes to show that if I get super flexible, it's a sign of not being, not having pain, and also being, potentially injury free. So let's give this a go here. I got a bunch of weights stacked up so that the box doesn't move, because this is on like a tiled, not a tiled, but like a wood kind of, whatever you call this, ceramic, I don't even know, guys, whatever, vinyl, whatever it is. It slides, is what I'm saying. That box is going to slide, so I stacked up some weight plates so it doesn't end up being an American, or not American because I'm Canadian, but a funny home video of me slipping. So let's give this a try. So really sinking my hamstring into my calf, trying to lean forward, try not to make the heel lift off, and try not to make the back knee touch the ground. I don't know how good the audio is going to be, guys, because I got the mic set up there, so it's probably going to be quite muffled, but I'm just testing it out here to see what it sounds like after. But most of the audio is going to be through the mic. Hopefully one day we get that portable mic. We will get that portable mic. Nice arch back here. I'm so conscious of my posture ever since getting injured. Like, I always try to keep a straight back now. So even like bending over, I try to keep my back nice and straight. That felt good, guys, as a stretch. Definitely hurt. You can go forward a lot more. The stairs aren't blocking you, so this is great. This is an improvement. And before, I had to start on the stairs because I couldn't do this. So really excited about that. I think I'm just going to keep it as a stretch today, and then eventually start doing some reps. So we'll kind of see how it goes. I don't do a lot of like time under tension, quote unquote, like a lot of time per exercise, so to speak. I do like 2 to 3 sets and not a ton of reps, not a ton of time in the stretch, because I'm trying to take it nice and slow. Once I get better, I can spend more time in the stretch. I can do more reps. I can do more sets if I want. But you don't have to spend a ton of time in the actual stretch. I think over time, like especially the split squat, you can add weight to it. So some of these movements, you won't be able to add any weight to it, but this one, you can definitely add weight to it over time. So you can spend the same amount of time in the stretch, but just add weight and get stronger in that position. So lots of different ways you can improve. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to switch sides, and then I'll just show you guys the next exercise. Might as well show you guys a bit more of this. I consider this one like the bread and butter, honestly, because you can progress in this one so much. All right, so let's just move in to the next one here. I just killed the spider. This is like an internal, external rotator one. And by the way, guys, the first one that I did was really just to open up your hips. So apparently a lot of lower back pain is due to hip pain. So opening up the hips should relieve the lower back pain. which I have a lot of lower back pain. Again, I had that bulging disc. So potentially some of you guys with bulging discs, you just have really tight hips, amongst other things. Also, a limiting factor in that split squat stretch is your calf flexibility, your ankle mobility. So doing a stretch to stretch out your calves, where you put your toes on something elevated and then lean forward and just stretch out your calf. That's really good to do before you do the split squat. That way you can really sink down into that stretch. Otherwise, your calf kind of pulls a little bit and you're not able to keep your front foot heel down. So just keep that in mind. So let's do this one. I'm sure you guys have seen this one before. All right, so now that I'm nice and loose in that, I'll switch to the internal rotation, and then I'll switch legs, and then I'll probably just do 2 sets of this. So let's do the internal rotation. This seems like, and it doesn't really feel like it does much, but I feel like it does because you definitely do activate the muscles in that area for sure. So if you're going to do external rotation, you should probably do a little bit of internal rotation work. Otherwise, you're not going to be balanced. All right, so I'm going to do one more set of this and then move on to the next exercise. Typically, I got 2 more that I want to focus on, and definitely I can do more because I can do even like some tibialis work that I was mentioning in a previous video that I do. I can also do some calf training at home on the stairs, single leg, and I have a backpack and I can throw some weighted plates in there. Weight plates in there. So yeah, lots of things you can do, but again, you don't have to do a full-blown routine. Just do what you can do. Focus on a couple of things, make progression over time. The next time that you do a routine, if you can only do a short routine, do the exercise that you didn't do in the other one. And yeah, just do what you can do, guys. That's honestly the motto of my channel. You guys have seen it so much in my videos, but in reality, like that's the small effort consistently over time that makes a change. It's not doing a ton once and then never doing it again, or doing a ton once and then you can keep it up for a month, but then you can't do it any longer than that. So it really is just doing what you can to be consistent until you become the person over time that is able to do this stuff more and more and be consistent with doing more and more. And that takes time, right? It takes reinforcement of doing the same things over and over again to increase your tolerance for them. And then you can do more of those things and not get as bored or as tired. So it's all of that stuff that you have to keep in mind. So yeah, so I'll see you guys at the next exercise. All right, so next one is more of like a lower back kind of focused one. It's basically a seated good morning. So it's, for me, I used to think that honestly, guys, my back was nice and flat. Like I had a nice arch in my lower back, but turns out I didn't. So it's really weird. What I thought was in my head would look like a straight back didn't look like a straight back. It felt like a straight back, but it didn't look like it. And it's very, very strange. I think the word I already know this word. I'm just pretending to be, that I don't know. But it's proprioception. So what you think is going on with your body in space is what actually is going on, if that matches. So my proprioception was off. So I'm working to fix that mentally with this one, and also what I'm trying to do is strengthen up my lower back. So eventually, I'm going to start picking up weights off the floor. But for now, I'm just using it as a stretch, using it as a proprioception, kind of make sure my form is correct and do reps and do holds and whatever. And increasing my flexibility to touch the floor properly with a straight back, because it does take flexibility as well. And it works in conjunction with your hips and everything. So again, increasing that flexibility, then going to pick up weights off the floors, then off the floors, and then eventually potentially putting a bar on my back and doing an actual good morning. So I want to progress on this and then start doing the stiff-legged deadlift again. That's something that I really was progressing, but I had to stop because of the bulging disc, of course, as you can probably imagine. But eventually that's the big compound movement that I want to get back to. But also I want to keep doing these seated good mornings. And I'm not a big fan of doing good mornings in the gym, but potentially I can just work up to putting weight on my back, doing this at home, because I have quite a bit of weight, more than I need, or more than I need for the next few years to progress on this movement, realistically, if I wanted to do that. So I'm gonna do that, guys, and yeah, just kind of see how this goes. All right, so let me get set up here. So I actually got a mirror. You can't see it, but I got a mirror there to make sure that my form is good for this one, that my back is straight. So I'm just gonna do some reps of this. Like I said, I do some stretching with it, and I also do some reps. So no weights right now, though. I kind of feel like towards the bottom third of the movement, I kind of lose my arch. So I'm really trying to strengthen up my lower back to keep that arch. It feels weird. It feels like I can't arch, and it feels like it really cranks on my back, and I really feel like a deep contraction within my lower lats to keep that arch. And maybe that's because my lower back is weak, which is kind of weird because I always thought it was strong. But anyways, just going to keep doing this, do a couple more sets, do some reps, just make sure the form's on point, and that's basically it, guys. So After this, I'm going to do one more stretch, and that'll be actually it for this mobility routine. I was going to show you guys some of the other stuff, but I think I'm just going to save that for another day because I still got some other stuff I want to do for today. I promised my dad I'd give him a haircut, and also I want to cut my own hair, give myself a nice little trim, and then I want to eat dinner, do some other filming potentially for some other PowerPoint videos that I want to get released, and then hit the bed nice and early. I came off a night shift at work, and I got to work again on my other job, my regular day job. If you guys don't know, I'm a respiratory therapist. So going to do that. So I need to get a nice sleep tonight. Kind of a zombie right now. Not actually too bad coming off that night shift. So yeah, so got lots to do. And this is a perfect example of like the fact that I still came down here and I did the exercises that I should, and I didn't do the full routine. Anyways, I typically switch up my routine, split up my routine to do half, which is more of like a lower back hip kind of focus day, and then like a shoulder upper back kind of day. So my kind of like upper lower mobility routine. So it's split up like that. Anyways, I was going to try to do the full routine today, but it's not really going to work out that way. So stay tuned for, I guess, the next routine. So yeah, so let's do more of this and then see you guys for the last exercise, which is going to be a lot of a nice quad stretch mobility routine. It's called apparently I'm getting a lot of these routines to big shout out to Knees Over Toes guy. So that's where I'm getting a lot of this information from, and this is the next exercise is the one he calls the couch stretch, I believe, if I'm getting the right one. If I'm not getting the name mixed up with another exercise. So I'm going to do the couch stretch next, and it gives you, like I said, a beautiful stretch in the quads. So yeah. So I got a couple of pillows to set up for this one. So beautiful quad stretch on this one. Shout out to Knees Over Toes guy. Apparently this is called the couch stretch. Basically what you want to do is try to get your back leg as straight in line with the wall as you can, as parallel with the wall as you can, and you want to lean back into the stretch to where your back is against the wall and your head's against the wall, and really stay upright and really feel that stretch in the quad. That's when you're going to feel the stretch in the quad probably the most. And then what you're going to do is have one foot in front of you, and then you want to make sure that you also are contracting the glute of the foot that's in front of you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to keep your back straight, keep your hips forward, and go forward, and then go onto that front leg and stretch it out. Stretch out that quad, stretch out that hip. This one's pretty painful, guys. I can't get my leg to where it's fully parallel with the wall, but in time I will. And then I can't go too far forward, and you really have to work into it, especially when you're doing the first set, the first rep of a stretch. It's typically obviously the worst because you got to warm up into that stretch. So just keep that in mind, guys, and really take your time. I'm doing the best that I can with all these stretches because you don't want to hurt yourself. Anyways, with that said, I'm going to get set up. This one's quite the setup. Got some pillows for my knees because otherwise it hurts. So let's do this. Oh geez, that one's brutal. So guys, I made a mistake there. You're actually supposed to really contract the glute on the leg that's got the leg up on the wall. But you can contract both glutes if you want, if that stabilizes you. Remember to breathe through these. They're quite painful. This one is such a good stretch in the quad that it's quite painful. You almost forget to breathe because you're like wincing and you're like, you're enjoying the stretch, but it's also painful. So that was good. I'm going to do another set of this. I find once I go forward, it's kind of like a modified split squat. You're using the split squat this time to kind of stretch out your quad because your leg is up, your back leg is up. So you're feeling that stretch in that area. That's how the exercise changes itself up. But it's still kind of like a split squat. You're really working that mobility. I find after you go forward, to come back up, like your quad is like quite in pain, and that obviously is probably because I'm not super mobile. So over time, I'm assuming I can probably do some more reps with that, and then who knows, maybe add some weight. I don't know if I'm going to try to add weight to this. Really, just being as like flexible and as mobile and best range of motion with this, and doing holds and reps, I think is the goal more so than adding weights to this one. But the actual split squat itself on the floor, I can add weight to that one, not a ton, but a little bit over time. But yeah, I just find when I come back, guys, from going forward, like it burns like crazy, and I can only really do one set of going forward because when I come back, I got to end the set there. So maybe that's just a limiting factor because of my poor mobility at this time, but I guess we'll find out. So hope you guys enjoyed. Honestly, this is it for this video. A bit of a different style. Again, the setup's a little bit whack, but we're using what we can because that's what I preach. So I'm going to practice what I preach and start where I'm at with what I have, and do what I can basically and improve over time and be consistent. So stay tuned, guys, as I continue to do these routines. They're honestly kind of lame, but I just turned 29 and I found out that, the older that you get, you have to really start taking care of your body. Otherwise, you can't continue to do the things that you love. If you get injured, it's really hard. You got to do modified versions of the things that you used to do. And also you can't do the things that you love as long because you're going to eventually have to, tap out because you're injured, and you don't want that. So take care of your health with doing proper form right away, eating healthy, and doing your mobility work, your flexibility, your stretching, because it really does serve you in the long run. So stay tuned, guys, in these videos. See how much better I get. It's motivating for me, but it also should motivate you guys that somebody starting off where I'm at, hopefully in the future I'm much better, and then you can look back and be like, wow, this guy came a long way. Maybe I can do that too. And in short, yes, you can. And yes, I can. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll see you in another video. Stay tuned, especially for the other mobility routine where I cover different parts, more of my upper quote unquote kind of routine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace.